I am 57 years old and married with 2 daughters attending university at the moment. I am self-employed and have 2 separate private pensions.The predicted pension pots are £130,000 and £80,000 at the year 2022. I plan to retire when I reach 62 years old. I would like to know whether I can take 25% drawdown on the first pot when I am 62 and delay the drawdown of the same amount of the second pot until I am 65. Scroll down to find out how to ask your pension QUESTIONSteve Webb replies. You can draw down from 2 different pots at different times if you wish. Taking a tax-free lump sum of up to 25% from one shouldn't affect your ability to take 25% from the second later on. You will probably be able to do so at the ages you want, subject to the rules of your pension schemes, which I explain more about below. The good news is that private pensions of this sort are often a lot more flexible than people think. In terms of the law, the 2 key ages are 55 and 75. Below the age of 55, you should not think about trying to access your pension, other than in exceptional circumstances such as serious ill health. The rules on what happens to your pension pot if you die also change at age 75, with pots passed on before the age of 75 generally not subject to tax. Between those 2 ages, you generally have complete flexibility with a personal pension. As with all guidance that I give on pensions, you should always read the paperwork relating to your particular scheme, and, if you are in any doubt, contact the scheme itself or your financial advisor, if you have one. You could also talk to an advisor about which of the 2 pots to access first, as there may be a difference in the performance and charges associated with each one. But if your plans have changed since you first took out your pension, it is worth telling your pension company. The reason for this is that some pension schemes will start to move your money into low-risk, low-return assets as you get near the retirement age which they hold for you. This is a process known as lifestyling and is designed to reduce the uncertainty around your final pension pot. But if you actually plan to work for a lot longer than you originally thought, you put 60 on the form, but now plan to work to 65 or beyond, then you should tell your pension provider so that they delay the point at which they switch you into lower return assets. A second thing to think about is what you do with the other 75% of your money in each pot. Recent research by the Financial Conduct Authority found that some people were so keen to get hold of the 25% tax-free lump sum they weren't paying too much attention to what happened to the rest of the money. Unless you have decided to turn your pot into an income for life by buying an annuity, it is important that you go on investing your money, especially as you could easily be retired for 25 years or more. Although some people choose to put their money in the apparent safety of a cash ISA, the interest rates are so low on such accounts, almost always below the rate of inflation at the moment, that your savings could be losing spending power every year. Much better for most people will be for the balance of your funds to be put in a drawdown account where they can be invested until you need them. Most drawdown accounts are sold with the benefit of financial advice, and an advisor will be able to help you choose an account where the money will be invested in line with your circumstances and your attitude to risk. Former Pensions Minister Steve Webb is This Is Money's agony uncle.He is ready to answer your questions, whether you are still saving, in the process of stopping work, or juggling your finances in retirement. Since leaving the Department of Work and Pensions after the May 2015 election, Steve has joined pension firm Royal London as Director of Policy. If you would like to ask Steve a question about pensions, please email him at pensionquestions@pasismony. Co.uk.Steve will do his best to reply to your message in a forthcoming column, but he won't be able to answer everyone or correspond privately with readers. Nothing in his replies constitutes regulated financial advice. Published questions are sometimes edited for brevity or other reasons. Please include a daytime contact number with your message. This will be kept confidential and not used for marketing purposes. If Steve is unable to answer your question, you can also contact the Pensions Advisory Service, a government-backed organization which gives free help to the public. TPAS can be found here, and its number is 0300-123-1047. He receives many questions about state pension forecasts and COPE, the contracted ad pension equivalent. If you are writing to Steve on this topic, he responds to a typical reader question here. It includes links to Steve's several earlier columns about state pension forecasts and contracting out, which might be helpful.